That was scary. I was in a free fall for a second there.
I'm so happy we're at this point in the build because the whole reason why I wanted mobility in an Iron Man suit was because of the abs. In a lot of existing designs for Iron Man suits, the abs are one solid piece. That works great for statues and for renders, but not for wearing. If I can't make the abs compress and expand with me, then that would make all the upgrades that I've done for the legs completely irrelevant. So since mobility is a major part of this build, the abs can't be overlooked. To start this process, I needed to understand where I needed to move. I printed out a solid piece and I tried to make it as slim as I could because Iron Man has that narrow build. So this was my size tester. I tried it on and it fit really well, but it didn't move as much as I wanted it to. Trying to twist felt restricted, bending forward was uncomfortable. Even when I lifted my leg, I could feel it resisting movement. And this restriction was felt without the cod piece. I knew once it was fully assembled, this would not be ideal. Now I know what some of you are thinking. I can just make it bigger. That would give me a little bit more flexibility, that would give me a little bit more space to move around. But like I mentioned earlier, Iron Man has a pretty narrow build. And if I were to make the abs a little bit bigger, I would need to make sure I can compensate by making the chest a little bit bigger because the chest sits on top of the abs. And in my opinion, once you lose that tight silhouette, the armor starts to look like it's just floating on your body. I've done this with a couple of my builds in the past, and I know that I don't really like the look of it. So the problem wasn't fit, the problem was that it was pretty stiff. So I started looking for references. The Iron Man figures from Hot Toys were the first thing that came to mind. I thought their solution was interesting because they don't overlap the panels. They elongate the body. I can't do that. That seems to only work for figure scale. I don't think I'm gonna be able to implement that into my design. In the films, they used urethane to make their flexible sections, which makes a lot of sense. They're durable, they're flexible, and they work with the body. I really wanted this to look like armor rather than a rubber suit. So I started thinking of the abs as a whole. What if the structure was flexible, but the outside panels were rigid? Enter TPU. I've been using TPU more and more this project because it sits in a very useful middle ground. It's stiff enough to support hardware, but it's flexible enough to act as a live hinge. Now that I have a material that I can use to make that flexible base, here's the idea. First, I'm gonna wanna cut all the abdomen plates in Blender using custom booleans, and then I'm gonna try building a TPU frame to sit behind it for those panels to mount onto. The idea is that the panels should be able to flex the arms and move out of the way when they're compressed, and the arms are gonna wanna return to normal after they're uncompressed. And then next I needed a way to actually connect this to my body. Until now, it's just been kind of holding on from the stiffness of TPU, or I've been holding it in place, or I've been taping myself in it. So taking inspiration from plentiful props, I added quick release pins to the side of the abs. This is the final prototype. It's not perfect, but at this point, time kind of starts to matter. As of filming this, there's only 46 days left until C2E2, so I need to start moving forward on the rest of the suit. I've already completed the torso sizing test, so here's a first look at everything coming together.
That's really good.
Here you go.
3, 2, 1, sit. Oh! I fell for a second. The chair's really low. I mean, this leg made it. Can I get up? No, I have to use my supporting leg. That was scary. I was in a free fall for a second there. Easy. That was actually a lot better than the first one. Need to get up? Let me see if I can get up without using this leg. I can. That was good.
With the torso and the legs roughly put together, I can move around pretty comfortably. The coverage is a lot better than I expected, and I can still sit down and move the way I want to. Right now, the abdomen piece is pretty tight, and it was kind of a battle getting me into this, but that's intentional. I plan on being a different size by the time C2E2 comes around. There's a lot more suit to make and not a lot of time. I'm still gonna try to stick to a weekly upload schedule. Expect a lot more progress in these videos as we approach closer to the deadline. Anyway, I'm really happy with how the suit's coming out. Thanks for watching.